Hey chat, how you doing? You'll notice that the stream is set up a little bit differently to how it usually is. I'm also really sorry if you can hear kids screaming in the background. They showed up outside literally like 10 minutes before my stream and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm really sorry about that. It sounds like they're having a great time though. Anyway, uh you'll notice that everything is set up differently to how it usually is. Um There's no fancy overlay, there's no VTuber, there's no brochure. All of the channel point redeems have been turned off, except for, I believe, an option that will allow people to make comments in subscriber only mode. Um, because I have the chat set to subscriber only for today. Um, but that's because I wanted to cover something that's a little bit. I'm laughing, it's not funny. It's a little bit nerve wracking. Also, if you hear that clinking sound, that's me playing with my fidget bracelets. It's supposed to help me keep focused and, like, on task. So, for those of you who may or may not be aware, in May of 2023, I had a situation with someone who used to be a friend of mine, who used to be on the Twitch channel very regularly with me, actually. And in December of that year, I made a Google document talking about that incident and how I was essentially violated. I was sexually assaulted by this person. But there is a lot of information about my history with this person that I left out. And I left it out because at the time I didn't think it was relevant to what had happened to me. But as time has gone on and I've surrounded myself with a lot of beautiful people, I'm not going to name names, but they know who they are, and I love every single one of them. It really dawned on me that my history with this person, one, is not okay, and two, is absolutely relevant to what has happened. So, in order to keep myself on track, and in order to keep myself, on track, I have put this Google Doc together. It is a long one. I think it's 48 pages. Most of it is screenshots, which we will also be reading over. If you would like to read along, sorry, these kids are really loud. If you would like to read along, the link to this Google Doc is in the chat. I posted it myself. You may read along with me. If you are reading along on mobile, you'll see that there's this little link to a Google Drives folder right here. This will take you to all of the screenshots that are in this document. Because if you're reading on mobile, the screenshots are going to be compressed to hell and back, and you won't be able to read them properly. So you'll have the document open, and then here in this Google Drive folder, you will also be able to see the screenshots, and they're numbered to the screenshots in the Google document. So, like, it says here, image 1 in Drive folder. You'll be able to read along that way. I'm stalling a lot because I'm really nervous. I'm incredibly nervous. This has been a long time in the making, but I think we should stop beating around the bush and we should just get to it. So, as I just said, for anyone reading on mobile, the screenshots are here. I'm mostly just going to be reading from the script. I don't have a lot of input, outside of what's in the script. If I do have extra information to give, I will give it. But for the most part, I'm just going to be reading the script. I am going to be taking breaks when I need them, so I hope that that's okay with everybody, because this is very stressful. I need to stop stalling. Let's just get into it. This is how the Jedge 12, also known as Jesse Vuotila, although in Finland it would be Jesse, because the J is pronounced as a Y, so his Finnish name was actually the Yege 12. This is how we met, how he was sexual with me when I was a minor, and how he sexually assaulted me in 2023. Now, that's a lot of allegations, but trust the process. I have receipts. So, I've attempted to write and rewrite this for a while, but I'll just get to the chase. My name is Sylviana. Hi, that's me. Also known as Silvertrine in online spaces. Hi, that's me. You're watching me right now. I'm sorry, I'm gonna crack jokes because I'm incredibly nervous right now. If anyone's put off by that, I'm really sorry. I'm a Twitch streamer, animator, and artist. I will be 25 on May 17th, 2025. 10 years ago, I came into contact with the man who proceeded to date me and be sexual with me as a minor, as well as sexually assault me just days before I had turned 23 when I went to visit him for the first and only time. The man in question is Jesse Vuotila, who goes by the name The Judge 12 online. Jesse is also an animator and is mostly prevalent in the Sonic the Hedgehog fandom, which is where I met him. In December of 2023, I made a Google Doc going over the sexual assault incident to shed some light on the situation for the people in my community who used to see me stream with Jesse semi-regularly, as well as people who were either both friends with or people who were friends with me looking to connect with him. In that original doc, I deliberately withheld my testimony and evidence regarding things he did to me as a minor online. I did this because at the time, I didn't see the two things as related, but over the years that have passed, I've been encouraged by friends and my partner to tell the full story. So here it is. That is basically the gist of why all of this is coming out now. I genuinely did not think that these two situations were correlated in any way, but here we are. Jesse's content on YouTube was how I first found him. He used to make Sonic content regularly, which drew me in a lot since I'm a massive Sonic fan myself. His animation skill was something I looked up to at the time, and I used to watch his animations several times over and try to replicate them on my DSi XL. I did not attach this to the doc, but I actually do have one of my Flipnote Studio animations that was basically just a study of one of his animations. I do still have that. I didn't think it was relevant, so I didn't put it in here. But yeah, I wonder if it's on my SD card or on my computer, but I definitely still have it. Eventually, I discovered he had a DeviantArt, and on there he had his birthday. Since this was a creator I really enjoyed, I decided to make some birthday fan art for him. This piece was made on January 12th, 2016. Meaning I was 15 years old when I drew this. As you can see by the description of the post, this was for his 20th birthday. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see it here, so we'll go into the screenshots, but as you can see here, this was published January 12th, 2016, right? And then I believe here in the description, you can see again, January 12th, 2016, happy 20th. So in 2016, he was 20, and because it was before May, I was still 15 during this encounter. Yep, image 2. The initial response was a lot more than I could have hoped for as a 15-year-old who idolized this man. He thanked me for the piece and then immediately started praising my profile picture at the time, which was different to the one in the screenshots, insisting that he'd draw the character in it. This was a massive deal for me as my profile picture at the time was an original character I had made for an animated project I was trying to get off the ground. So seeing an animator I looked up to like it so much meant the world to me. This act alone isn't malicious, I feel, but this is the start of a relationship that would soon turn sour. For context, a lot of these old screenshots refer to me as Vicky or Vicky Dahalia. This was the online name I went by back then, so any reference to Vicky is talking about me. And that's something that I really want to drive home, is that I don't think that this initial conversation where he's like, oh my god, your character is so cute, I have to draw it, I don't think that this is malicious. I'm simply adding this to provide context as to how we met and how we came into contact. So this is just proof that this picture that I drew for him for his birthday is, in fact, how we got into contact. So these are the comments. Jesse says, oh my god, this is so adorable, thank you so much, with the heart emoji, throwing them high. And I said, you're welcome, man, with a little smiley face. And he says, oh my god, your icon is adorable. My response is, oh my god, thank you so much. And then Jesse says, she is so cute, I must draw her. And I got a little, like a little gasp emote. And I said, that would be awesome. And then he says, noted ya. And for context, DeviantArt has its own DM system known as Notes. I don't know if it's still called Notes because I haven't been on DeviantArt in a very long time. But these notes were basically like emails back and forth, the way they were formatted. It was their own private like DMing system. And then as you can see here, 15-year-old me, Vicky Dahalia has stopped working. I wasn't sure what to expect after our public interaction where he said he'd draw my character, but I remember being so shocked and excited when I saw a private DM from him on DeviantArt not too long later. For reference, sorry. For reference, I've screenshotted the 2 main note threads I'll be pulling from. The screenshots from DeviantArt notes need to be read from bottom to top, which we will do when I get to them. I was unable to verify this, but I believe the date on the Deviant notes are the dates they were created, not the dates of the last message. I should probably edit this now because it looks like these dates, I'm unable to tell if the 22nd is when the notes started or if the 22nd is when the last interaction on the notes occurred, because the messages themselves don't have dates. So I'm unable to verify, like I know that this was around January 22nd, but I don't know if it was from January 22nd onwards or if it started before January 22nd and the 22nd is where that note ended. So I'm unable to verify exact dates, but as you can see, both of these notes take place very early 2016. I'm sure I can read this one without going into the screenshots. So these need to be read from the bottom to the top. So Jesse says, hello, I made something, or rather someone. I say, ooh, really now? Is it up on your page yet? Jesse responds with, not yet, but it's in the stash. Stash was basically a private uploading system for DeviantArt. You could upload stuff there privately to share with friends, or you could upload it there to mess around with it a bit, and then when you were happy with it, you could then upload it from the stash to DeviantArt. So this is like a private file sharing system. I don't know if DeviantArt still has this, but I think it does because I got some of these links to work. It says, not yet, but the sketch is in stash. I just can't get over how adorable she is. And then I have a look at the picture and I say, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, that's adorable, cuteness overload. And then he says, I'm so glad you like it. I'm gonna ink and color it too, which he never did, but that's not the point of this doc. And so this Google Stash folder, this had this picture. So this was the original character that I had as my profile picture at the time. I'm pretty sure it was even in this exact same pose. I don't remember, but this was my original character that he drew. It still has stash? Yeah, I figured because when I was putting this doc together, there were a lot of links that didn't work, but the ones that I did get to work were the ones that I needed for the doc. So I was still able to get everything that I needed. All right. I was ecstatic to get this free art of my character Chloe, and from here a trend would start where he would draw her and only her quite regularly for me. Unfortunately, the majority of the stash links no longer work, as I just said. However, the few that did still work show the start of what I now know to be Jesse's bondage fetish. So remember, this is still 2015. I was still 15, and as we'll see further down in this doc, he's almost trying to like prime me for this particular fetish that he has. So I say, Noble Blood is an animated series, but bonus information is shared via comic, kind of like Sonic, I guess. I can't wait to see it either. And then he says, oh, animation you say? You can probably guess why I'm interested. And, well, I made some practice doodles of Chloe here, another stash link. Happy, confused, in trouble, and confused again. And then I said, yeah, so far I'm the only animator, but it's fine. I'm trying to experiment with Flash at the moment, so hopefully that works. And then I said, yes, I figured you would be interested. Oh, so cute. In Trouble is probably my favorite. Keep in mind, I was 15. This man was 20. This is the image that was connected to this stash link here. This stash link had this image right here. This is the In Trouble one that he mentioned, that we both mentioned. Initially, this could be seen as harmless. Looking at the kind of art and animations Jesse made at the time, this is just a goofy expression sheet, and the drawing of my character tied up in peril is nothing to be concerned about. To people who are looking at this and thinking that, I implore you to keep reading the doc with this analogy in the back of your mind, because this is what I always think of. This is what people... this is what I say about a lot of other situations, and so when I had this analogy that I use a lot thrown back at me regarding my own situation, it was really eye-opening. So this is the analogy. If you put a frog in a pot of boiling water, it'll jump right out. But if you put a frog in normal temperature water and you slowly turn up the heat, it won't realize it's boiling until it's too late. Our conversation continues, and he takes notice of the fact that I said I'm an animator. Immediately, he started offering to help me animate my project, teach me Adobe Animate, which at the time was known as Flash, and even proposed a collab. Obviously, I was excited by these offers and was keen to accept, which is when he suggested we move to Skype sometime soon to make these things easier. So he said, Vicky, I didn't know you were an animator. That makes you 10 times the awesome you already are. I can help you. I would love to collab with you on some level. It actually was my favorite too, talking about the in peril picture. I don't know why, but those sort of situations are really fun to draw. That's a fucking lie. He does know why, and it's because it turns him on. But we'll get to that. I respond with, haha, yes, I'm an animator. My current skill level isn't very high, and the only thing I can effectively animate without hassle is my DSi. Embarrassing, but we all start somewhere. I would love to collab with you, and help with Noble Blood would be super amazing. I have a few animations on my page, actually. They should all be in the Noble Blood folder. And then he says, great. I went through the folder and saw a few. It's looking pretty good so far. Also, the pic titled Mary Sue, that's unrelated. But this is where he says, I could teach you the ways of Flash. So he wants to teach me how to animate in these screenshots. He says, I'd gladly teach you how to animate. Maybe we could Skype someday or something. Well, now that you say it, it really does make more sense. I said, yes, Skype sounds like a good idea. We should do that sometime. Yes, one of the many things Mary Sue's are capable of. The Mary Sue stuff's not relevant. I don't remember what that was about. And then he responds with, awesome. I'm under the same name, though I can call. I can't screen share since my PC is busted, so I can call from my phone only at the moment. Believe it or not, Dino has been called that as well. Our conversations continued via notes a little bit longer before we migrated to Skype, and we'll get to the Skype situation when we get there, but trying to get Skype archives was a whole ordeal for this document. He's talking about how his series has been in development for 10 years, and then he says, also, I want to draw more Chloe in peril if that's fine with you. Remember, his idea of in peril includes characters being bound by rope, which, no subtle foreshadowing, I already said earlier in the document, is a fetish of his. I said, at least they understand. My watchers are more patient than I thought. Yeah, go ahead. That's fine by me. So this is me being like, oh yeah, draw Chloe, whatever. He said, you definitely should have a lot more of them being followers. And he gets really excited that I gave him permission to draw my character again. And then I said, oh, you really think so? I wish I had more, to be honest. More people to connect with, more feedback. But that also means more pressure to do well. I can't wait to see what you draw. And he says, totally, we got to get you some more. So this is him saying that he wants to help me get more followers. And yeah, sometimes it gets overwhelming, but things usually calm down. And speaking of calming down, Chloe was kidnapped by Drino, one of his characters, and eventually he had to shut her up. And then there's this stash link. This is the image that was connected to this stash link. So now not only is it simple, like, being bound by ropes just under the chest, now it's like full body ropes and gagging. This is still January or February of 2016, so I'm still 15 when he does this. He asked me if he could draw my character in peril some more, and obviously I said yes, since this was a man I looked up to asking to draw my character. Notice how he draws her more curvaceous, making her breasts and butt more prominent on the right-hand side, which, yeah, he does. You look at this looks like just a simple cartoon drawing, right? It's fine. But then the second more ropes get involved, you can see that he's, like, added slightly more definition to the breasts. He's added wiggles, because she's, like, struggling against all of this rope, and the butt is made more prominent as well. Right? Like, what am I supposed to say to that? Like, now, as a 24, almost 25-year-old looking at this, what am I supposed to say to this? And then I say, why not just ask, though? Because apparently the context was his character needed to figure out what species my character was. So I said, Drino, what are you? Chloe says, a dog, and she gets cut off and says, liar, I will find out myself. And this comment here is what I really want to highlight on. Chloe wouldn't be able to really say much with like that stupid fucking evil cat emote. Expose the bitch, expose the bitch. Hi, Chai. How are you? I hope you're doing well. We're gonna get into some really heavy stuff. Right now, we're talking about how he basically started spoon feeding me into his bondage fetish when I was 15. But this fucking emote, I hate this emote in this context. It's disgusting. Again, this could be read as nothing, but looking back, the mischievous emote, this motherfucker, when he's talking about how a character owned by a 15-year-old wouldn't be able to speak made me feel the ick, so I thought I'd share it. That's literally it. Continuing this conversation, he reveals to me that there's a girl attempting to ask him out. He mentions he's worried he's not good enough for this girl and mentions he believes this is because one girl he was previously involved with, quote unquote, spread rumors about him, and another, quote unquote, toyed with his feelings. Again, on the surface, this could be nothing, but I wish 15-year-old me had pressed about those what those rumors were. Maybe these girls and I have some similar experiences with Jessie. And this is something that we'll get into in the 2023 situation, but jumping the gun a little bit, I do honestly believe that there's some merit to what these girls potentially have said about him because of what he proceeded to do to me. So I'm having trouble reading this screenshot, so I'm going to hop in here. We're going to grab, what was it, 14? Was it 14? This looks like a different screenshot. No, it says 14. Ah, no, I've numbered them wrong. Okay, I think it's this one. So he says, I ended up sleeping at her place in the same bed, and the whole night was great. I spent time with her, carried her around, like up and down the stairs. It was so fun, and generally being there for her all the time. She even started crying a little at one point, and I wiped the tears and held her. That's what I'm like with company. And for the past 3 days, she's been on my mind every waking moment, and I can't shake her face off my head. I'm head over heels for her, but am I good enough for her? I said, aw, Judge, that's so sweet of you. Of course, you're good enough. The fact that she allowed you to do all of those things that shows that she is willing to open up to you. I do not stand by this. I do not stand by this. Maybe she just didn't know how to say no. That's entirely possible. I no longer stand by this statement. The statement was made 10 years ago. They say the words, I trust you, are way more powerful than I love you, and it sounds like she trusts you quite a bit, especially if she was comfortable showing you the more sensitive side of her while she was crying. I say go for it, man. Tell her how you feel because I know you're good enough for her. And if she does turn you down, which I'm almost 100% confirm won't happen, then yes, it will hurt. But at the end of the day, you're not the one who lost someone that cared deeply about them. She's there. She is. Don't make the same mistake I did and beat around the bush with questions like, am I good enough? Because then you'll end up in my situation, watching the one you care about most in a relationship with someone, thinking every day it could have been me. This is the part, this top bit is the part that I was going to talk about. I'm really quickly gonna snooze the ads. I don't know how to turn the ads off, so we're just gonna snooze them. Thank you. This is what Jessie says in response. Thank you. That gave me way more courage. And yeah, I actually wanted to tell her yesterday, but she wasn't home, though it felt like a relief since I'm not sure exactly what to say. And oh, I know what that feels like. All my life, I've been rejected by girls I've liked. One even spread rumors about me, and the other went to my best friend at the time. Oh, and one toyed with me for months until suddenly calling off everything and saying she has a boyfriend. And I had to stand her for another 5 months because we were classmates. That's why I'm afraid this won't work. I want to highlight this because I feel like all of my future experiences with Jessie put a very, very different light onto this paragraph here. He says that people have spread rumors, people have toyed with him, and people have quote unquote like flirted with him and then turned around and said that they've had a boyfriend. I'm gonna be for real, I don't believe any of that. Not anymore. If anything, I believe that he did something to all three of these girls that freaked them out. That's honestly what I believe. And as we go on, hopefully people understand why I feel that way. The next screenshot is the start of our second notes thread. This chat in particular seems to have taken place on February 18th, 2016, meaning I was still 15 at the time. I don't fully remember what venting he's talking about in this thread, since unfortunately I am missing parts of the original thread, but I still don't think a 16-year-old man should tell a 15-year-old AFAB that he would hug her for hours. That is very inappropriate, even if the child is upset. I don't remember what's going on here, but basically he's saying, like, where was it? He was saying that he would hug... I'm trying to read it. It's very small. Hang on. I think it's this one. Yeah, here. So I was venting about something here, and he gave me, like, DeviantArt points. And then he says, I would hug you for hours if I could to make you feel better. And then 15-year-old me says, a nice long hug sounds amazing right now. And then he proceeds, like, all the hugs and blah, blah, blah. Again, some people might think that's nothing, but knowing what I know now, that's fucking weird. There's, like, you shouldn't be telling as a 20-year-old man, you should not be telling a 15-year-old girl that you would want to hug her for hours to make her feel better. That's weird. Eventually, after this point, Jesse and I ended up migrating to Skype. Unfortunately, because Skype logs are over 5 years old, I am unable to recover any of them. I did, however, find a single set of screenshots in our Google Chats DMs. We migrated a lot. We migrated from DeviantArt notes to Skype to Google Chats to Discord. So everything is flung everywhere. I'm unable to bring up all of the Skype DMs for reasons that I literally just said. The DMs are over 5 years old, so they've been deleted. But bless 17-year-old me, not 17, yeah, 17-year-old me. I sent this in our Google DMs on August 21st, 2017. So I said, I'm so excited. I know we're not doing anything special, but wow, a year. Also, look what I found. And these two DMs. Sounds like preemptive damage control attempting to bias how you think. What does that fully mean? Preemptive damage control attempting to bias how you think. Is that... Oh, is that like here when he's saying that all of these girls did all these terrible things to him? If that's what you're talking about, then yeah, I completely agree. It's like he's trying to, like, because I would never meet these women. There's no way that they would be able to tell me what happened. But yeah, I can kind of see that. So here, wow, over a year, look what I found. And I sent these two Skype DMs. And then it says here, it says March 15th because I had to get a new phone, but it's from August 22nd last year. So these screenshots are from August 22nd, 2016. Okay? These are what these screenshots say. So these ones can be read normally. He says, we'll be talking those 3 days in a row. I said, yes. Oh, hang on. The ads are starting again. Let me snooze them a little more. I'm going to delay the ads for as long as I can. When I'm forced to do the ad break, we'll do the ad break. So I said, yes. Hey, Jeji. I hate that I called him that. That's disgusting. When you say I love you, are you saying just because, or is it a friend love, or do you actually mean it? I'm only asking because when you never responded last night, when I was still mind-boggled about, I think this was someone I went to school with, my thoughts began to wander, and it wasn't pretty, but it was very embarrassing. You don't have to answer. I just wanted to ask. And then he says, I sometimes wonder the same about you. I say, what, really? He says, like you said, you were constantly boggled by this person or someone else, and I don't know what to think of that. And I do mean it when I say it. So this is him saying that he fully means it when he says that he loves me. And I asked him if it was friend kind of love or if he actually meant it. So this is him basically saying that he actually meant it. It wasn't a friend thing. He actually did mean it when he said, I love you. Which is so disgusting. And I said, well, for me, it started out as a friend thing, but after a while, I started meaning it. I like being able to open up to you and know you're there for me. I like how we have so much in common. I just like how amazing of a guy you are. And then it cuts off. As you can see, the DMs from our Google chats are dated as August 21st, 2017. Right here. August 21st, 2017. Hang on. I just realized my cursor wasn't showing. Right here, August 21st, 2017. That's when the Google chats are dated. and I stated that although the dates on the screenshots say March 15th, the Skype DMs were where we begin confessing our love to each other were actually dated August 22nd of the previous year. I also mentioned, oh my god, I can't read. I also mentioned that we're about to celebrate our 1 year anniversary in these screenshots, meaning we started dating on August 22nd, 2016, when I was 16 and he was 20. I know a lot of people might not see the issue with that because, like, oh, a minor and a senior, it's whatever, but like, when we get into what he was sending me as a 16-year-old, I think that's when people will have issues. So and I don't have the Skype DMs, but based on the context I have of this screenshot and these screenshots, that this screenshot's from 2017, right? There's no way that I knew now in 2025 that I would be making this doc and this stream. So, like, I don't know. Putting the information together, it looks like we started dating August 22nd, 2016, which again, I was 16 and he was 20. The remaining screenshots I have from the moment are from our Google Chats DMs, which again is where we moved to after Skype. I need my fidget bracelets. I won't have much commentary on these, as rereading them for this doc has made me physically ill, which is true, but I'm going to read them to you guys anyway, just so that you guys get how disgusting this is. These screenshots are, bar one, exclusively Jesse saying he loves me and is trying to be romantic and flirty with me, or sexual role plays Jesse and I did together when I was 16 to 17 and he was 20 to 21. Oh god, Skype. Yeah, Skype. Possibly 22 due to the gap between our birthdays. So some of these, I don't have all of my Google Chat DMs here, but I do have the entirety of our DMs downloaded in the form of a JSON file. And I believe you're incapable of deleting Google Chat messages that you've sent. So if I need to release the full unedited DMs, I will. I've only picked out, like, the ones that really made my stomach turn when I was going through them. While there are no mentions of penetration of any kind, there's a lot of tying me up, gagging me, and groping me. I've only collected a select few from June to August of 2017, as I refuse to read our old DMs beyond that point. But I believe these are the worst offenders. And then this is what I literally just said. I have everything downloaded as a JSON file, so if I need to reveal everything, then I will. There's also an abundance of drawings he sent me of him committing these acts on me. I have a Google's Photos folder containing 403 photos he sent me. Almost all of them are sexual in nature. Most of them will have the correct creation date on them in their file information. However, as I mentioned to Jesse back in 2017, which was the section where I was showing the Skype screenshots, when I transferred files from my old phone to my new phone back then, some file dates were mixed up. Any picture dated March 15th, 2017 is actually from between August 2016 and March 2017. Unfortunately, I don't have ways to prove this aside from the screenshot from 2017 explaining that the dates were jumbled. Where was I? But even if you don't believe me and assume that these images are all from March 15th, 2017, that would mean that I was still 16, as my birthday isn't until May 17th, and Jesse would have been 21. So I'm going to open these. The ad break is going to start in about 30 seconds. So before we go through this, 403, bro. Yeah, 403. So before we go through these, we're going to have our mandatory ad break, because I'm not allowed to snooze anymore. Ads are going to start in about 10 seconds. I don't remember how long they are, but I'm going to take a breather. You guys probably should too. We'll be right back to continue this doc. All right, I'm back. Is everybody else back? Did you have a nice, much needed breather? Might be late, but expose that motherfucker. Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Why is the chat in sub only mode? Because I'm very, very nervous right now, and I'm very, very worried that certain people will see that this is what I'm doing, and they will try and say some very nasty things. Is essentially why it's in subscriber only mode. Originally, I was going to have it so that like only people who donated bits could comment, and so you would have to donate like a minimum of 100 bits per comment, but that felt really rude and really disrespectful to my subscribers who have been like just really chill dudes. Even if they didn't know what was going on, they've always been supportive of everything that I do. So I set it to subscriber only. And for the people who aren't subscribed but who are very loyal and very chill, I did leave that point redeemed. So you guys can still leave comments if you like. It's just a little extra layer of protection on my mental sanity right now. So this is the folder that's got 403 photos, right? They're in chronological order. And as you can see, actually you guys can't see at the moment. Give me a second. Okay, I'm trying to make it smaller, but it's not working. Let me really quickly fix this up for you guys. Ooh. I gotta make it like bigger so that you guys can see the date that these photos are from, which means it's gonna fuck up my overlay, but it's fine. Okay, we'll have it set up like this for the time being. So as you guys can see on the, as you guys can see on the right hand side, it's got the date of creation for these photos. As I said in the document, anything that's labeled March, like 15th of March 2017 is actually between August 2016 and March 2017. But even if you, like, for whatever reason, think that I somehow edited the date on these photos, and this is the date, then that would mean that I was still 16 and he would have been 21. So these, not all of these are sexual in nature, but a good majority of them are. Like this one. Like this one. I was 16. That's me. I was 16. This is a 21-year-old man. This is our two characters canoodling. I'm not gonna go. Ick, bro, she's 16. Yeah, bro. I'm not gonna go through all of them. At least not right now. Maybe if you guys are really curious, we'll go through all of them. But there is a lot here. There's ones like this where he's like, these ones weren't sexual in nature, but he's putting his whole body weight on me. This one in particular, this was my character, who I think the character was also 14 at the time, I think. And this is like his character. He used to draw like this a lot. This is our characters like making out. Again, that's me right there. I don't really know what to say to these aside from tell you what they are. These are still the ones that are 2016 to 2017, mind you. There's so many of them. There's so many. Like this. Dude. What are you doing? What are you doing? I was 16, bro. What are you doing? I just... You're blushing as well, you know? Like, dude! What is this? Look at this! I think these ones were a sequence, so like it starts out like this, and then yeah, and then my character gets grabbed, and then I don't have the end result of that. That was a 3-parter. I don't have part 3. But like, and this girl here, and this girl here, these are girls that I know he's friends with right now. This is Aurablaze. This is a creator by the name of Aurablaze. They've been friends for I think like 10 to 15 years or something. And he draws her Sona bound and gagged. This one is a creator known as Bad Pics. I don't know if they know that he drew this. I don't. I'm pretty sure Bad Pics blocked me after my first Google Doc about Jessie came out, which is unfortunate. But I don't know if Aurablaze and Bad Pics know that this is how he's drawing their characters. If they do, and they were consenting adults, then that's fine. But this shows that I'm not the only person who he did this to. Again, that's me. That's my Pokemon Go character. Because when I was in high school, Pokemon Go exploded and we were playing Pokemon Go. This is him bringing my bound and gagged character into another character's living room. Look at this. Be right back. You stay there. What? Look at this one! Do I really need to say anything? I need to get a crossbow? You do. You do. But do I need to say anything to this one? First of all, fucking ouch. Second of all, 16! 16! And you're doing this shit with my character. And there's another one too. I think this is part 1, and then this one was part 2. I'm not entirely sure because the dates are all messed up on these first few. And then you've got some kinda wholesome ones, I guess, which for me personally have been tainted because of all the extra context. Like this one where they're having ramen. This, you think, okay, this one's cute. This one's innocent. I like this one. This one was sent to me after a 4-part series of him binding, gagging, and groping her. And then this was the last picture in that series. They went and got ramen. Like, this was part 1, I think. I think this was part 1 of that series. But like, what are you doing, bro? Look at your face, bro! Oh, I don't know why. Drawing characters like this is just so much fun. You know why! You know why! It's because you get off on it! And you're doing it to a fucking child! I'm trying not to get angry, chat. I'm really trying not to get heated over this. But I haven't looked at this Google folder, this Google Photos folder, since I put it together, like a year ago. I haven't looked at any of these, and I haven't looked at them because I get angry and I get upset. I'm trying not to. You need to see this. Hydrate, I'll have a sip of my tea. And I'll turn the air conditioning on too, actually. This is fucking insane. And there's more. There's more. How many sketchbooks did he fill with this? Again, this one's me. Like, not a character of mine, not nothing. This is actually me. Same with this one. And this one. This is me. Almost everyone but him has a face of confusion or shock. Yeah. Yeah. And he loves it. Oh, he fucking loves it, dude. Then there's this one. His character, like, crawls into my character's bed and just starts fucking taping her up. Yeah. Like, look, it started out all cute and wholesome, and then, boop. Stop it. Look at the look he gave his character. He knows what he's doing. He knows that this has sexual connotation. Yeah, so these ones are out of order, but it's 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So these ones are backwards, because these are still the fucked up dates. A lot of them say March 15th, 2017, because a lot of them came from my old phone. This one looks jank as hell, but that's me. I'll tell you to have a sip of tea when you're getting riled up. You are justified, but I want you to get your point across. Thank you, Skinner. I appreciate that a lot, because otherwise I will absolutely fly off the handle. Look at this one! There's no fucking way. There's, like... I don't know what to say to it. I'm shocked and appalled and disgusted and, quite frankly, ashamed. Really. That's my character. Like, I'm sorry, is he biting her ear? Yeah, he is. Yeah. That's what's going on here. Yeah. Blindfolded, gagged, still a shirt on, but tits out, biting on the ear. This is part 1. He just blindfolded her and I was like, oh, what are you doing? And then he sent this. Again, that's me. He used to always draw me with huge tits as well. I do not have huge tits. I don't. And that's something that came up in our relationship a lot. I didn't include it in the document because it wasn't relevant. But he used to always draw me with massive tits because he was super attracted to massive tits, and I just don't have massive tits. Hey, Rogue, we're going through some photos that this man sent me as a 16, like throughout the ages of 16 and 17, of him binding, gagging, and like groping me as a 16-year-old. So that's fun. Bro, hey Rogue, bro. I don't remember the context behind this, but he dressed me up as a witch and then had these like sentient ropes tying me up. This one, I don't remember. I think it was one of our birthdays because there's a little birthday hat in the corner. I think this was supposed to be implied birthday sex. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Also, like, I'm trying to make this funny haha because it's fucking disgusting, but like, look at her legs. He fucked up her legs bad. Like, he didn't want to draw the whole thing, he just wanted to draw the rope for his sick fantasy. But yeah. This isn't a man, this is a you-know-what. This is... I don't know what this is, man. I... This is a... Okay, this is a series, so I think it starts... It starts here. And then it goes backwards. That makes more sense. The dates won't be fucked up after a while. I don't remember how many have fucked up dates, but a couple of them do. That's me. That one's not too bad. That's not a sexual one. And then immediately. See what I mean? He used to draw them with massive tits. Like, huge. I don't remember the context behind this one, but I think he was saying that, like, my character was his character's quote-unquote present, and that's why she's wrapped up like this. I have so many. Look at this! This is fucking creepy, dude! This is fucking creepy, dude! Look at this! How did he not think this is fucking creepy? Scum, this is scum. Scum is a good word for it. Look at this. He is vile. Vile is also a good word for it. There's so many. Remember, this photo album has 403 photos. 403. Over the course of, I think, 2 years. Like, let's have a look at some of the other ones, right? Let's have a look at them this way. Look, there's these ones here where it starts out as a joke, right? This one starts out as a joke. Clearly this is supposed to be just a ha funny. But then he like binds her and gags her with the hands. Like, it couldn't even have a joke without it turning sexual. There's another one. There's one here. There's this one. It's really hard to look at these, chat. It's really hard to look at these. Especially when he does actually, like, good art. And then it's like, oh my god, you used your skill to do this to me? Oh, and then there's these ones. This was a series 2. Actually, I think this is the end of the series, right? No. This is the start, because the dates are fixed. This is the 21st of April, 2017. So I was still 16. Look at how hardcore it's gotten now. Look at how intense that rope work is. And then it continues. I don't think this man has ever touched a real human boob before, if that's what he drew. There's so many. Look at this! This is also the 21st of April 2017. Look at the fucking rope work. There's no way. I refuse to believe that someone can look at this photo that was sent to me on the 21st of April 2017 and not think that this scene right here was the start of him trying to get me into his bondage fetish. There's no way. It started like this. He used to say, "Oh, I don't know why, I just really like drawing women in peril and distress like this." I don't know what to say. I really don't. I feel like you guys have seen enough of this. There's so much more. Look at how much more there is. There's so much more. This goes on and on and on and on. There's so much in here. But I think you get the point. I think you get it. And if you really don't, and you really need to see more, the link to the photo album is in the Google Doc. If you need to, if for some reason what I've shown you is not enough and you need to see the rest of it, the link is right here in the Google Doc. The Google Doc is pinned to the chat, so you guys can have easy access to it. I have had my sippy. Thank you, Skinner. Alright, back to the doc in question. What a way to start the day. I am so sorry, Purple. I am so sorry. By the way, for anyone who's here, like, I fully understand if what we're going over is too much and you guys feel the need to leave. I get that. Please take care of yourselves. This is just me airing out what I need to air out. And then we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming tomorrow. The peril is being within a kilometer of him. You guys make me laugh. Thank you. I need that. But unfortunately, there will be some peril later on in this doc, if that's what you think peril is. Alright, back to the doc. The last two screenshots I'll cover before I share the ERP are these two. The first one is showing that we had our own secret word for initiating ERP, so that neither of us would get in trouble if we happened to be out in public. Our code word was dawn. So we reached a point where we both were like, maybe we should have a code word so that we don't get in trouble because, like, time zones and shit. Like, what if you're working? What if, like, I'm at school and stuff like that? Like, we definitely need, like, a code word, right? And so, yeah, it reached a point where we had a code word for when we would do sexual stuff. And the code word was dawn. So he says, yes, I took a few liquids that make me feel fuzzy and extra cuddly. So, you know, he was drunk. AKA beers, because that's what you do on Midsummer. I said, ooh, I want cuddles, maybe some dawn. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yay. I think dawn is the perfect, adorable way to describe it. It's our secret lingo. He even refers to it as secret lingo in this chat. This is June 23rd, 2017. So I was 17 at this point. New code word, yes. And then it started and I don't want to read that. That's disgusting. That's image 19. The last screenshot before the ERP dump is this one, which I find highly ironic considering what Jesse would later do to me in 2023. I'm not sure what event he's talking about in this screenshot. Even after scrubbing our DMs, I couldn't pinpoint what he was talking about, leading me to believe that we'd talked about it on Skype before we transferred to Google Chats. Jesse. This is directly to Jesse. I have him blocked everywhere, so realistically this should not get to him, but this message is directly for him. You got frustrated with me because I chose not to take action against someone who did something terrible to me. Something they could have potentially gone to jail for. So, if this doc does somehow find its way to you and you read this far, consider this doc a representation of me learning my lesson from back then. You did one of the worst things a human can do to another human being. A lot of what you said about this person now applies to you. And this is what he said to me back in 2017. He did one of the worst things a human can do to another human being. I'd kick his ass from here to tomorrow for far less. And yet, him doing that, just leaving you in this horrible state that took over half a year to be left behind mostly, you're still not taking any sort of action about it at all. Let him get away with something as horrible as that. He could be spending time in jail, which I think would be a good lesson in life for him to not do that again. But no, nothing. And now, even with him being around you is making you nervous, he very likely has something on his mind to tell you, but won't tell it. Oh my god, I can't read. And now, and even now, him being around you is making you nervous, and he very likely has something on his mind, but won't tell it. And that to me is very annoying. I wouldn't forgive someone if they did such a thing to me. Jesse, I hope from the bottom of my heart, genuinely, if this ever gets back to you, which realistically, I've blocked you everywhere, I don't think it will. But if this somehow gets back to you, I hope that at the very least, if you don't take anything from this, you take this. Because everything that you said about this person in 2017 is now something that can be applied to you. And the only reason that I didn't file a police report on you for what you did back in 2023 is because I would have had to deal with cross-country communication because I was already back home in Australia by the time I was able to process what had happened and file a report. And that would have taken up years, literal years of my life. And I don't want to be held down by that. So now, this is what you get instead. Okay? We're moving on. This is your last warning. The next few pages will be unbroken screenshot segments of ERP Jesse and I did together when I was a minor, before I get into that incident that occurred in 2023. If you do not want to read the ERP, skip to page 37. We are not going to read all of the ERP, but I am going to read some sections of it. Again, if you would like to read all of it, the link to the Google Drive is in the pinned comment on this stream. And on the very top of this Google document, there is a folder that will take you to all of the screenshots in this Google document. So if you would like to read all of them, just so that you have all of the information, you can. These screenshots are incredibly taxing on me to look at, so I'm not going to read all of them, but I will read some of them. I'll read until I'm too uncomfortable, and then we will move on. So this is June 20th, 2017. I'll sleep. Good night, Bun Bun. I love you. Good. And then a bunch of hearts. I love you too. Aw. I was 17, and this man was, I think, 21. Do you need some water? I have water, and I have a cup of tea. I've been casually sipping my cup of tea, but I feel like maybe I should have water instead. Okay. June 21st. Boo. Buh. So he's turned my funny little boo haha into boob. No. Aw, no boob, silly. But it's the best. I'm drawing an arms character. But okay, so here I am saying boo. He turns it into something sexual by calling it boob. And then he says, oh, but the boob is the best. And here I am at school. I was in... What time was this? 8:04? I would have just arrived at high school when he said this to me. It's so bizarre. And then he sent me this picture of this arms character with a big butt. I said, damn, girl, thick. And he says, I'm not a booty man, but still. This is where it gets really embarrassing. I was 17, but I'm not embarrassed for myself. I'm embarrassed for him. So I said, looks like my bum in leather pants. I like my leather pants. That is actually what I thought. I've got it. God, I've got to see them. Oh, you did? Yeah, you've gotta. Hell yeah, how could I not? So he's just said that this character's butt here made him think about what my butt would look like in leather pants. And I was like, oh yeah, that's what my butt looks like in leather pants. And then he says, that's actually what I thought. So he already had that thought before I externalized it, which, God. Again, I was still in high school. It's fucking weird. This conversation here continues. Heh, what to wear them with? What color are they? Black. Oh yes. Maybe little like a tight top. maybe that'd be lovely. Maybe I'd curl my hair too, or leave it out there, or leave it, it's out there wavy self. Oh yeah. Well, now that I imagine it, I'd love it either way. And now I'm talking about my hair. Slight curls, be fancier. I regret eating a yogurt before reading this doc. Now I am sick. Purple, I am so sorry. If you need to take time to yourself, please. I'm not going to take it personally if you guys leave the stream. The VOD will be up. I am going to put this VOD on the YouTube channel, so if you need to take a break, it is okay. Like, the VOD's not going anywhere. You'll be able to catch up with this whenever you want. And if you don't want to, ever, that's also fine. I'm really sorry about that. Alright, so this continues. I thought it was to show that bum to me. Well, yes, but I need another excuse. I see. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how long those leather pants will stay on. Oh my god, that's gross. Oh my god, yeah, that's his response. They'll get a good slap or 3, that's for sure. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna have a sip of tea. This is a lot, chat. Oh no. Off to assembly. So I was literally just about to go off to a school assembly when we were talking about how he wants to spank my leather pants. That's fantastic. Oh god, moving on. I think this is one of the pictures I showed. It might not be. But this is one of the pictures that's in the photo album. We're doing ours now, and then he sends his picture. Said, yeah. Yes, Dawns is happening. And then, like, I can't do it. I'm really sorry, Chad, I can't do it. But basically, this is ERP of me being bound and gagged as he starts groping me. We're gonna snooze the ads. There we go. Yeah, this is basically, I'm not reading these ones out loud, but this is basically where the ERP behind this picture starts. It's like, I'm all bound, and he's playing, I can't even say playing with me, that's so gross. Still protesting, are we? See, look, or are you enjoying it? Like, look at this. I don't want to read these out loud, it makes me feel disgusting. And the thing is, right, in hindsight, is like, I know that none of this is my fault. I was still a child. You know? I was still in high school, for fuck's sake. I was still a kid. And so even though reading these is incredibly embarrassing and cringe, like, I can't be the one to blame for this. I will stay, although I'm running out of points, so I'll just speed run. Sorry to hear that you had to go through such an experience. I hope it didn't leave too much of a scar on your mental state. I wish you the best. Thank you very much, Purple. We will go back to our regularly scheduled programming tomorrow. So hopefully this doesn't scare you away. But yeah. I'm good, not to downplay your experience, but this is very play by the numbers for me. I've known a lot of people who have been through the criminal justice system. Yeah, no, I know that you saying that is not trying to downplay my experience, because the unfortunate thing is this kind of shit happens a lot. Like, a lot. And just because it happens a lot doesn't mean it's okay. But I get that you're not trying to downplay it, but it does happen, like, an awful lot. So this is the rest of the ERP. I'm gonna be so for real. I don't have the gumption to read these out loud. Except for this one. This one's fucking weird. I take you are enjoying being my captive. Ugh. You're such a cutie, and even cuter when gagged. Oh. Christ almighty. I don't pray for strength, I pray for patience, because if I prayed for strength, I would break this man's neck. That's okay, read what you can. Yeah, I will. I think I showed this one, I don't remember. This one is also in the photo album. Squeezes, so Bun is me. Bun was the pet name that he gave me. So here he is role-playing squeezing my bum. Tight gag and a tight bum. Oh my god, I'm going to be sick. This is June 23rd. We're having like play kisses, and then it turns into, I see that round behind wiggling around, you cutie. Oh. What are you talking about? I'm talking about this thing slaps the butt. Oh my god. I'm gonna throw up, chat. There's a lot of these. What page is this? This is 22. The screenshots of the ERP go on until page 37. There's a lot of them. I just need to take a breath, chat. This is heavy. Ooh, that thing is wiggling quite hard. We might have to do something about that. Oh my god. That bum is getting wild again, almost irresistible. When is this? This is June 2017, so he would have been 22. And I believe I was 17. I was 17 because it's 2017, but his birthday, on January 12th, 2015, he was 20. So yeah, he would have been 22. He was 22 in these conversations. Have a sippy if you need. Yeah, I've got my tea. I'm going to turn the air conditioning off because I don't think it's helping. Grabs your bum and starts squeezing it. Keeps squeezing. Slaps the bum. Oh, no, you don't. It's no use. I'm gonna fucking put a gun to my head. Not really. Not for real, for real. In Minecraft. But... God. This is fucked. This is fucked, dude. Squeezes even harder, I'm assuming is the butt. And then he puts this picture, which again is in the photo album. Assume every picture that you see in the Google chat DMs is in the photo album. All of it's there. This is us reacting to the picture, but still, like, role-playing. You're asking for it, aren't you? Actions speak louder than words. For example, plops down on the sofa. The ad break is going to happen in about 15 seconds, which is perfect. I need a break. Everyone, go get water, go stretch, go bleach your eyes. I'm going to awkwardly pace around my apartment and probably pet my cat. I will see you in, like, what, a minute? Alright, we're back. If only he was in Russia, we know what to do with people of his kind, and I'm sure you have guessed too. And yeah, try not to dig too much. We understand that it's tough for you to read, and it's legitimately disgusting. Alright, I'm out of points. Change the world. My final message. Goodbye. That's very sweet. Thank you, Purple. I appreciate that a lot. Did we read this one? I don't think we did. I think this was the last one that we read. Yeah, plops on the sofa. Yeah. So, oh, sleepy time? Well, actually, I was thinking of kissing you so long that we're out of breath before sleepies. I just can't. I can't do it. Oh, that works too. Because my god, that's the only thing I want to do right now. Aw, well, let's daw. Gets on top of caressing hair and waist, long kiss, ew, ew. Places the waist hand on your chest, lightly squeezing and turning bun onto side. So I just I really don't know what to say to it anymore. I don't. There's so much. There's so much. I can't resist it or you for that matter. I was 17. You're a 22-year-old man. What are you doing? What are you doing? It makes me really sad, honestly. Like, some of the stuff I read, I get really angry. I get really heated. Especially, like, looking at the pictures. Like these. I get really heated and really angry looking at these. Right? But looking at these, I just... I think heartbreaking is the right word. I think heartbreaking is the right word. Lifts up chin and smooches the nose. Pulls in closer. Pats your bum and kisses your face. There's a lot of bum stuff. Like a lot of bum stuff, I'm realizing. Now where were we? Oh yeah. Wait, I believe I was leaving a cherry red bop on your bum. Oh, there's a lot of butt stuff. Grabs again, squeezes bum some more, and pulls right to my chest. Ugh. Ugh. Like, brother, ew. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Arms around the waist, shoulders. Picture that's in the photo album. Oh my god, I gently climb on top of you. What? I don't remember that. I took a screenshot and put that in here. I don't remember that. Get on top. What? And that's it. That's the end. There was nothing after that. Oh no. Did I trauma block that? Oh no. So slowly wrap blanket around. I'm gonna be gentle, even though I'm fighting the urge to pin you down, wrap the blanket around you, and go crazy on your body. That right there is a textbook case of scum. In my humble professional opinion, I recommend crowbar to the junk. Yeah, I feel like that would be yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with you. Oh my god, it'll be even better IRL. I didn't get the screenshot above this, maybe because at the time I didn't read it properly or didn't think it was relevant. It'll be even better in real life. This is August 2017, so I was 17 at this point, but he was 22. I can't believe I didn't see that when I was taking the screenshots. Holy shit. Why shivers? Ugh, ugh, no, I don't want to. Sorry, I saw a tiny bit of that, and I don't. The fact that 17-year-old me called this grown ass 22-year-old man master. It's okay. We're carrying on. We're carrying on. The plant lady is looking adorable. I think I sent him a picture of like a character that I was drawing. Those are some wise words. Yay, plant girl. Buns, buns, be good. I want to smack and squeeze them all day. I think this is talking about my butt again. Ah, and tie bun up all nice, tight, and helpless. Can't do nothing but squiggle and moan through the ropes and a thick gag. You don't have to read what you can't handle. It's okay. I understand. I get that. Okay. It's alright. It's alright. That one was particularly disgusting, but that's alright. It's not alright. It's not at all, but that's fine. Okay, so this was a weird interaction. This one is not inherently sexual, but it was definitely strange. I don't know what was going on here. So I think I had said like good night to him, or like I had sleep paralysis that night and I was trying to message him, but I couldn't see. Because I don't know if anyone else has this, but I have a lot of sleep paralysis where like I'm trying to look at something, but I can't quite see it and it's all blurred. So I had said goodnight to him ages ago, and then at 1:20 a.m., August 4th, 2017, I said, I can see now. What the hell are you doing up at this hour? And see what? I can see my screen. Are you okay? Why are you still up at this hour? I don't know. You're in the group Discord chat. Don't try to lie. The hell do you mean? What? What do you mean you don't know? It's not like you're just laying in bed doing nothing. You're in the Discord chatting away. The Discord woke me up. Sure it did. You go to sleep like 3 hours earlier than what it is now, and I find you up and awake and chatting away. So this confused the hell out of me because I might be able to find it on my Discord, like my old Discord server. Maybe I should add this context. I have no idea. But it was before I did this with my friend Henry. There's a lot of clicking involved in getting the correct date. Sorry. So the context for this is I usually went to bed at like 10 p.m., maybe 11 p.m. Okay, we're here. It's August. We'll put before August 3rd because then it'll show up. Oh no, sorry. I don't want before. I want after August 3rd. Hang on. We want after. Fuck, I gotta do the whole thing again. So, sorry, this is gonna take a minute. Once I had sleep paralysis and thought Bill Cipher was in my room. I once had sleep paralysis and thought that fucking Kara from Undertale was in my room and was hunting me down. It was really weird. I think that was also 2017, actually. I don't know. It was a while ago. It was fucking weird. So we want after August 3rd. So, this is in reference to... Yeah, August 3rd, 2017. Oh, this does not have what I need. God damn it. I found it before. Wait, hang on. I think I know how to find it. Boom. Ah! go to like here. This is still 2022. Let's go page 7. Okay, that's still 2022. Okay, no, it's going into 2021. Page like 15. There is context for this. This is still 2021. Still 2021. We talked a lot in 2021. God, how far is it? Page 80? Page 80 is 2020. Okay, let's try like page... I don't know, 200. 200 is still 2020. My God. Let's try 500. 500 broke it. Okay. There's context to this. Basically, I had a Discord server with some of my friends at the time. Okay, this is 2019. I had a Discord server with some of my friends at the time. We were working on a project called Forget Me Not together. And basically, a lot of them were US based. I can't find it anymore. A lot of them were US based. And so I had said goodnight to Jesse. I'd gone to bed. And then at around 1 o'clock in the morning, hang on, he wanted you to talk to him every waking moment. Oh God. That's aggressively controlling. This is a manipulative asshat. Yeah, so basically what had happened was I had said goodnight to Jesse. I went to bed. We had a lot of friends in different time zones. And at the time, one, I didn't know that my Discord still said I was online. And two, I was really new to Discord, so I didn't know that Do Not Disturb mode was a thing. So, one of my friends, Nick Churgo II, he put something in our group Discord server at around 1 o'clock in the morning. He was asking a question. I don't know if it was related to our project or something else. If I can find the context, I will. I know it's somewhere on my Discord server, but the sound of the notifications going off woke me up because Nick had the question and then Henry answered, and then I'm pretty sure Flufflepuff also answered, and they were having a discussion in the group chat, and the sound of my phone going off all the time woke me up. So I woke up, I answered the questions, and then I came to Jesse as well. As you can see, I came to him first. I can see now, I came to him first. So I answered Nick's question. They were talking about other stuff. I sent, I think, a total of 3 messages. And then I stopped talking in the Discord server because it was really early in the morning for me. As you can see, it was 1:20 in the morning. And he goes off on me like this. And he's like, oh, sure. I literally just woke up. It's like, sure you did. Discord woke me up. Yeah, sure it did. What the fuck's that supposed to mean? And I think it continues. Jesse, I'm confused. Why do you hate me right now? This is 1:30 in the morning. A 17-year-old sleep-deprived teenage girl at 1:30 in the morning. Jesse, I'm confused. Why do you hate me now? Do you think I'm purposely waking up or something? Either that or I don't know. I don't know if you even went to sleep, seeing as you're just chatting away this hour like it's nothing. I sent 3 messages. 3. I've told you I have sleeping issues and that sometimes I just wake up. Don't you remember? Why not try go back to sleep then and not stay up chatting around? Discord kept buzzing and it was semi-serious thing they were talking about. Sorry. That doesn't mean you have to sacrifice sleep over it. You can get back to it later. And why do you even have the sounds on in the group? You can mute them. I didn't expect them to be there at 1 a.m. Why? Are you angry at me or are you just worrying a bit aggressively? They live all around the world. That should be totally expected. A bit of both. We never used Discord though. And why? I did go to sleep. I just happened to wake up. And my exam is in the afternoon, so I can sleep in if need be. We as in us or the group? Many times when I go to Discord, the group has new messages. And then, I don't know, H. Both. It's only for calls and bad memes. Please don't be mad for something I don't really control. Bad memes are important stuff. And I said, weren't you reading what Nick said? He said, whatever it is, it's not more important than sleep. I'm not losing sleep. I went to bed early. Whatever. I tried fixing this, but it doesn't seem to be working. I'm going back to bed. Happy now? So I don't understand what was going on in this guy's brain, but like having your girlfriend say goodnight and then 3 hours later seeing them send 3 messages in a Discord chat, like, this is not an appropriate response at all. I'm going to remind you of the ages again. This is a 22-year-old man talking to a 17-year-old girl. Ooh. God, I've had similar fight in the past. So unreasonable for no reason. Yeah. It's so fucked up. Okay, that's all of the sexual with a minor, controlling with a minor stuff. But now I'm feeling fucking petty. So I'm going to find what we were talking about. So we have this. I can probably jump. It was August 2017. So I'm going through. I found a message from 2016. Actually, let me go with, like, from my friend Nick. Oh, never mind. He's not in the server anymore, so it won't work like that. Okay, I'm going to find it because I need you to see just how unreasonable this blow up was. I sent 3 messages. I'm getting petty. When you said bad memes, I thought you said bad meat. No, bad memes. I promise. Who is still in high school? Yeah, I was a 17-year-old. I was still in high school. What the fuck is this? What the fuck? W fuckdo? I don't know what's going on. This is a very old server that was in 2016. Some of these memes are really funny. I really miss this chat, but also this chat's got a lot of bad memories. Where is 2017? This is still 2016. I think this is December 2016 though, so we're getting there. Still December 2016. We talked a lot. Like, a lot. Like, we were actually friends. You know, which is really sad to think about. I'm still friends with 2 people in this server, but... Where is it? This is February 2016. We're getting there. I am unreasonable amounts of petty right now over this conversation. This is April. Still April. May. Still May. When did these take place? What does it say? August 4th, 2017. Okay. So I've got a little bit of a ways to go. This is officially June. It was likely an attempt to make you feel guilty for talking to other people, a manipulative tactic for isolation. Probably. Which reminds me, I got sick at work today, not my best day. I'm sorry, Rogue. You've always got something going on. It's very unfortunate, really. Oh, okay, this is July. Oh, 3rd of August 2017. Okay, so we're getting there. Bunch of Pokemon memes. Oh, okay, here. Alright. This is what my quote-unquote boyfriend blew up over. I'm gonna switch from the Google Doc to Discord. This is what my partner blew up about, right? So this is my friend, Chogo the Second. 1:18, 4th of August. So this is the conversation that we had. I motion we move all chatting to here because Skype is hot garbage. Keyboard smash. This is Jesse. Was there doubt about Skype being hot garbage? I thought we knew this. So, is Skype gonna become another Slack? Because this group moved from Slack to Skype and then to Discord, so we hopped around a lot. It used to be like a Truppish, but now it has evolved to reek more than a Garboda, I think is a Pokemon. Said, I can see, because, like, you know, I was half asleep. I couldn't see. Once my eyes adjusted, I just said, I can see. So 2 messages. You can polish a turd till it shines. It'll still be a shiny turd. Goodbye, Skype. This is my 3rd message. I liked Skype, though. Yeah, we've had some good times here. A wise man once said, if one attempts to polish a turd, one shall only have a pile of smeared shit. Nick says, anyway, I need to go prepare for my trip. Goodbye. It says, peace. I say goodbye. And that is the end of my interactions here. My next message isn't until 7 o'clock in the morning, which I don't know what this is. Great ass can make up for small tits, but a great tits cannot make up for a poor ass. Sure, whatever. So I sent 1, 2, 3, 4 messages. One from 1:18 to 1:23. I was awake for 5 minutes, and then I was gonna go back to bed. This interaction is what he blew up at me for. Being like, oh, did you ever even go to sleep? Look at you hanging out in the chat. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, actually shut the fuck up, dude. I'm having a sip of my tea. This is bullshit, is what this is. I have very weird luck, what can I say? Yeah, you do have very weird luck. Alright. Back to the doc. Back to the task at hand. This is all of the sexual with a minor stuff. The rest of it has to do with what happened in 2023. Jesse and I broke up early 2018, just shy of my 18th birthday. Was gonna tell you to have a sippy, but you got this. I've got this. It's fine. Yeah, Jesse and I broke up early 2018, just shy of my 18th birthday. Unfortunately, not because I had woken up and realized what he'd done, but because he sent me a photo of one of his lady friends kissing him on the cheek, which was the straw that broke the camel's back for me in terms of him engaging in things that I didn't like. We were still in contact to varying degrees and had since moved to Discord. Somewhere in 2021, we'd reconnected on a more regular basis, and I'd even try to have him on my Twitch channel once a week for Sonic Sundays. Some people here might remember Sonic Sundays. It's been a couple years. But I did. I tried to have Jesse on stream with me every single Sunday. I have those VODs downloaded. Like, that was a thing that I tried to do just to reconnect with him. We did a lot of streams together, and we're intending to collab in other ways too, such as animation, memes, and artwork. In May 2023, a week before my 23rd birthday, I traveled to Finland to meet Jesse, something we had talked about a lot while we were dating all those years ago, this time with purely platonic intentions. This was a man who had been in my life since January of 2015, someone I had history with, and given how much our friendship had rebuilt over the past few years, I wanted to finally make that connection real. Unfortunately, just a few days before my 23rd birthday, I was sexually assaulted and touched without my consent by Jesse in his home multiple times. Spoiler alert, I guess. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. It's not funny at the end of the day, is it? The talks started late one night in 2022. I'd been thinking about traveling to see either Jesse or my other long-term online friend Henry, and since at the time Henry was only 19 and still living with his parents, I opted to take my trip to Finland. The original plan was to try and make it in January for his 27th birthday. However, tickets ended up being about $4,000, so we chose to plan a bit further out and spend the week before my own birthday together instead. These are all our Discord screenshots planning the trip. This is me. Hey, so, what if, hypothetically, I just kind of showed up in Finland one day? He goes, what? This was, October 29th, 2022. I'll have a look sometime today. Which airport are you closest to? There's 2, isn't there? Great. He's talking about airports. I said, main city airports. He tells me the next one. And then I said, we only have 1 airport per capital city. I forget it's different for other places. And then I said, I'm not coming in January. Return flights are almost $4,000. In May, though, they're about $1,500. And then this is a picture of my character looking super stressed. Oh my god, that's expensive. Yeah, later sounds better money-wise. Tickets booked. I forgot the times. I'll tell you when I get the tickets emailed to me. Ah, hey, sorry for not being here in the morning. I got a call early and had to go to my dad's place because something that happened. I'll tell you tomorrow, but I'm exhausted. Hell yeah, the tickets are ready. And then he says, gasp, Tim Tam. This is the most excited I've been about a snack in a while. Australian Tim Tams are based. Everyone should try one. Thank you though. Oh, also, we gotta do a call at some point over the weekend to make sure everything is good so that we can get all the timing right when you arrive. So this was like, I think a week out before I flew out. This is the 5th of May, 2023. I said, too easy. I just got my flight information. Hang on. I sent him the itinerary, I think is what it's called. Yeah, so this was 3 days before I flew out. This was May 8th. Ah, alrighty. I'm just concerned if that time of arrival is Australia time or Finland time. I guess it must be Finland time, though. I said, I'm assuming Finland time. He said, yeah, that'd make more sense, but I'm nervous, excited, and dumb. I said, it's okay. He said, whenever the month changed, I've been real nervous about this because it's just a few days away. I said 3 days, to be exact. And this is me landing in the airport. He says, I'm at the airport. I said, ahem, bitch has landed. I'm in the baggage area. He says, alrighty, there's a green arrivals hallway telling me where to get my bags. And then this is a photo that we took in his apartment. So, like, this is, like, photo evidence that I was in proximity of this man in May of 2023. Also, it looks like the ads are gonna start in like 30 seconds. I don't have any more snoozes left. So we're gonna take another quick break. My throat's getting really, really dry. Yeah, I'm gonna take another break. We have another sippy, pace around the apartment some more. You know the drill. Get your snacks, get your water, have a stretch, bleach your eyes. And I will see you in a little bit. It should start in like 10 seconds. There we go. What was that? I don't know what that was. All right. I'll see you in like a minute and a half. All right, I can't tell if it's over or not. I'm assuming everyone's still here. Hello. Oh, my cat got up. I think I interrupted his sweepies. Poor baby. He'll go back to sleep. He's fine. My partner should be home soon anyway. He'll play with my partner. All right, let's continue. So where we left off, talking about flying out to see him, planning the flight in May. Had to use the bathroom. No worries. I only just got back. But going over what we just went over, talking about visiting him, moving it from January 2023 to May 2023. Here's my itinerary for the flight. Here's me saying I landed in the airport, and then here's photo evidence that we shared. Like, I was in proximity of him, that I was in Finland with this man. So, let's carry on. Once I arrived, things were alright for a while, about what I'd expected. On the evening of my second day, we were sitting in the park for a brief moment, and Jesse asked if it was alright for him to put his arm on my shoulder. I said yes, as I saw this as a platonic gesture. This is one of the only times he asked me for consent before touching me. I want to give him credit. Actually, no, I take that back. I don't want to give him credit. This is the one of 2 times that he asked me for consent or permission of any variety before he laid his hands on me. It was one of the first times, right? Everything after this, you can assume no consent was given, which is very unfortunate. But it is what it is, I guess. For some extra context, from January 26th onwards in 2023, I had been living with intense abdominal cramping and pains to a point where I couldn't work. I was bedbound most days, and I was doubting if I could even make it to Finland. I had a procedure done in a private hospital not too long before my flights, but despite being on the road to recovery, I was still at risk of being in intense pain and grew fatigued extremely easily because of how draining said pain is. Because of all this, I would get very tired very easily, and Jesse would take advantage of this, taking his arm around the shoulder motion to the next level and having me lean in on him. He did not ask me, I did not consent, and due to just how worn out my body was, I had difficulties being able to express that I didn't want it. So this is basically me expressing that like it says, I had a lot of severe abdominal pain that would leave me bedbound, sometimes struggling to be conscious if it was that bad. And hi, Nemi. Hi, baby. I love you. And I didn't even know if I'd be able to make it to Finland, but I went anyway because I couldn't get my tickets refunded. Hi, precious. Hi. You actually can sit up here today because I don't need a controller or anything like that. I just can't see chat because my cat's decided to make himself welcome on my desk. So basically, every moment of like physical interaction that Jesse and I had from this point on usually happened when I was in a lot of pain, when I was exhausted, when we had spent like a full day walking outside and me being in my abdominal pain, like I didn't have the physicality to do anything anymore. I don't know if you can hear me. My cat's between me and the microphone. But Nemi, I love you, baby. You can stay, but you're being a menace. Yeah, so a lot of the physical interactions that we had from this point on, I was exhausted. I was in pain. I couldn't properly keep myself upright. That's the amount of pain that I was in because I was still recovering from my abdominal pains, right? Remember the peril I spoke of earlier? It's Ralph Wiggum. I'm in danger. Yeah, I told you it would come up. All right, carrying on. Sorry, my cat's tail is whipping me in the face. Excuse me, baby. It's a privilege to be able to stay up here today. I hope you know that. Even when the pain and tiredness subsided, I chose not to say anything. I did this because I was in a foreign country with a native language I don't speak, and I had literally nowhere else to go should things turn sour. I was also chronically ill and 4'8", and Jesse is roughly around 6 feet. I was worried that even if he didn't intend to, he might end up hurting me if there was an altercation. And I want to address that now, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Blah, 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 blah. I don't speak Finnish. And a large majority of the Finnish population does not speak English. And Jesse's apartment, I'm not going to dox him. I'm not going to dox his address. But his apartment, while being like 30 minutes from the city, is also in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. There's a lot of forest surrounding it. And as someone who didn't grow up in the area, if I had to leave, I would have gotten lost. Like, really badly. I would not have been able to find my way back home. I wouldn't have been able to find my way to anywhere. I was relying on this guy. And that's why, even when I had my strength back, even when I had my mobility back, I didn't say anything until after I had left. Because I didn't want that support that I needed at that time taken away from me. In the middle of bumfuck nowhere. He was in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. He was. Alright, carrying on. Throughout the week... Oh, sorry, my cat's getting up. Bye, Nemmy. Anyway, moving on. Throughout the week, I was touched in various ways without my express consent and without being asked first. Most of the time, this was in the form of laying on me while I was sitting down, so I was unable to move, or having me sit on the opposite side of the couch so he could sit behind me and hold me from behind. These, unfortunately, and I know a lot of people are going to hold this against me, unfortunately, all I have as quote-unquote proof that this stuff happened is testimony that I gave another person on the date that it was happening. I don't have screenshots, I don't have videos, I don't have, like bruising or marking because it wasn't violent. All I've got is testimony that I gave someone on the day that it happened, right? I don't have... Oh, God, I forgot that was open. I don't have anything other than these testimonies, unfortunately. So I hope that that is enough for people. But this is what I've got. So I think this is the correct one. This is image 51. Yeah. So things with Jessie are getting a little weird. Maybe I'm overreacting because in the moment I don't really mind. It's after the moment I start to feel kind of strange. The first day or two, there was no touching besides a hug hello from the airport. He'd sit really close to me, so we were almost, if not touching, and he also walks really close to me, which causes me to rift off the path and into the grass or dirt because I think he's too close. Nothing too odd, just lack of personal space I got used to pretty quick. Then, a day or two ago, something happened, and he gave me a big hug that I just took because we're friends. Later, he asked me if it was okay that he did that, and I said yes. Then, he starts putting his arms behind me when we sit together, but not touching me, which then progressed to his hands on me, which again, in the moment, I don't mind. Today, after walking for a while, I had a fucked up leg and we went home. We were both exhausted on the couch, and I had my knee up because I was having a hard time keeping my leg comfortable. Suddenly, his arm is around me, holding my knee, and I can't hold my head upright without my neck hurting because of the position I was in, so I had to lay on him and not hurt my neck. I moved around a few times to suggest that we actually do something instead of just laying around. But it took a while for him to be like, yeah, okay, let's do something else, because he was happy and comfy. So here I was trying to not be rude about it, because again, he was housing me at the time. But I was like telling him like, hey, maybe we should get up and do something else. Maybe we should get up and do something else. And it took ages. He was like, nah, I'm fine. Nah, I like this. And then eventually he was like, yeah, okay, let's do something else. Which is, ugh. I'm still trying to process how that made me feel. I'm a touchy person, I like to hug, lean on, and that kind of stuff, but aside from hugging, you're the only person I feel comfortable having that kind of physical contact with. I know I won't feel weird about it because it's you. I don't know if I'm overthinking it or if my paranoia is kicking in and I'm stressed something's gonna come of this. Maybe this is just how he is with lady friends, I'm not sure. And then my friend says back, well, as someone who is not very touchy person, it would be making me very uncomfortable. Would only be able to think this person has a thing for me and wants to get closer physically. It is always possible that's just how he is, but even so, if it makes you uncomfortable, then you gotta say something. Nothing too abrupt. Something like, that's a little too close for me, sorry. I know it takes a while for you to process stuff, so I imagine giving it time would be better than just letting it happen and being unhappy about it later. I'm glad you're comfy with me, at least, but we've also physically known each other for a long time. I'm sure things will be fine. You've been friends for ages. A little talk, if it goes too far for your comfort, wouldn't be bad. So things are starting to get a little weird, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. This is kind of strange. And my friend's just like, if it's strange, then you should just lay it on lightly. Like, I would be uncomfortable, but it's fine. And then we have another screenshot. These Discord ones are really small. It makes me feel strange for that exact reason. Does he have a thing for me and want to be closer physically or not? It sounds strange, but if the answer is or not, this is just how he is as a friend, then I don't think I would mind as much. I've known him for 7 years, but since this is our first physical meetup, the fact he's so much bigger than me and living in his house is making me unsure if I should have that conversation with him. I'm sure he wouldn't do anything about, I'm sure he wouldn't do anything, but the feeling is there. I don't know. I'm trying not to think about it this morning. Our ride to Candy World, we went to Candy World. Our ride to Candy World should be here in a few hours. No judgment here. Hindsight is 2020 and all, but in the moment, things like that are a lot harder to break away from. I agree. It's difficult. Definitely. My friend goes, yeah, once that feeling is there, it kind of doesn't go away. But yeah, enjoy your trip to Candy World. I think it's way better to think about that. You may not even have to say anything anyway. He seems like a good friend from what you've told me, so I'm sure things will be fine. But yeah, I do understand where you're coming from. And I said, yeah, he is a good friend. I'm sure it'll be okay, and I'm just stressed over nothing. I wish that was true. It honestly really hurt me reading that out loud, but that is what that is. Especially when you're not sure or have a hard time understanding emotions. Exactly. One night, I was feeling very worn out, and we decided to watch some Netflix on my iPad. Okay, this is the big incident. This is where it jumps from touching me without consent to like, hey, this is actually fucking creepy. I still feel sick thinking about this, but I'm going to get through it. We're gonna get through it. One night, I was feeling very worn out, and we decided to watch some Netflix on my iPad. I was laying on the couch, and he was sitting on the end by my feet. I was laying down instead of sitting next to him in an attempt to distance myself and be in a position where it was difficult to touch me. Jesse responded to this distance and difficulty by deciding to lay himself directly on top of me. Since, again, I am roughly 4'8" and he is roughly 6 foot, him laying on top of me the way he did meant I had no physical way to get out of this position. I was scared. I couldn't focus on whatever movie we put on because all I could think about was the fact that he had decided to get on top of me without warning, or even asking me if he could. After what felt like an eternity, my fatigue started to get the better of me and I began falling asleep. I wasn't fully asleep, but I was on my way out. I couldn't move or talk or keep my eyes open, but I was still present. Jesse had turned off the movie and decided to go from laying on top of me to spooning me and having his arms around me while he thought I was asleep. Again, I started to panic. This was most definitely a line I didn't want crossed, but while he wasn't on top of me anymore, my fatigue made it extremely difficult to move. My fear only grew when he slowly moved his hand a little higher up my arm and was ever so slightly brushing my breast. Admittedly, my chest is on the slightly smaller side and I was wearing a jumper, so I can understand if he initially didn't know my breast was there, but anyone who's touched a boob even slightly knows what that feels like. And with the adrenaline I had in that situation, I wasn't about to start rationalizing why his hand was where it was. Eventually, I managed to sit up, but before I could do anything else, Jesse also sat up, put his arm around me, and pulled me close to him so I was leaning on him. It took a lot of strength to move again, but I pushed myself away from him and actually physically stood up. Once I was up, I walked around for a bit, looking for my battery pack so I could text my best friend, now partner, about what was happening as soon as I had the energy, without my phone dying. And then I collapsed back on the couch in the opposite position to my original one. I had tried to deliberately fall face first, as I thought if I was on my stomach, he couldn't spoon me, and he was less likely to try and get on top of me. Since I was laying on the opposite direction to my original, instead of simply moving my pillow over the other way or just leaving me be, he decided to physically pick me up and put me back in my original position. I was so scared he was going to get back on top of me, but thankfully, that was when he decided to leave me be and go to his own bed. That's a lot. It didn't happen to me, and I'm fidgeting with my hands. Sylv, my friend, I am so sorry this happened to you. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't want to say anything other than this is what happened. And again, I have screenshot testimony. That's all I have, unfortunately. I really hope that's enough for people. I think it's here. Yeah. I'm gonna have a sip of my tea before I read these. I said, I think I'm ready to come home tonight. Last night, Jesse wanted to watch a movie. I put one on and laid down facing away from him, hoping to have some space. Instead, he takes this as his cue to lay on top of me. Because of how much bigger than me he is, I didn't know what to do or say, so I didn't say or do anything. But I didn't like it. I get to a point where I'm so tired I can barely move or keep my eyes open, but I'm still awake. He takes the opportunity to slide from on top of me to behind me and starts spooning me. My mind is racing, but I'm so physically exhausted that it takes me a while to finally wiggle away and sit up. As soon as I sit up, I'm almost falling over because I'm so tired. So he sits up and yanks me into his arms and holds me there. Sorry, I don't know what that was supposed to be. I literally used all the strength I had to sit up and get away from the spooning. It took me a bit more to be able to get out of this position too. When I did, I laid down on the couch, spread out so that he couldn't spoon me, and laying on my stomach so he'd hopefully be too worried about hurting me to lay on top of me again. That was when he finally let me sleep and went to his own bed. He was so uncomfortably close to my breast a few times, like his finger would just be barely touching the side of my boob, but to be fair, I'm not sure he fully realized that. I'm still trying to give him the benefit of the doubt in these screenshots, and it's really difficult, if I can stop reading for a second. It's really difficult to not give him that benefit of the doubt now, because this is someone that I've known since 2015. This is someone that I connected with, and in 2023, I didn't realize just how serious what he did to me when I was a kid was. So he was still my friend, you know? He was enough of my friend for me to fly halfway across the world to see him. And it's really, really difficult to look at that and to remember the connection that we had and sit here and go, no, he doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt anymore. It's really, really difficult to not give him that. And you can see it in my screenshots here. I'm trying not to in this document, and in my retelling of this document, I am trying not to, but it is difficult. Anyway, let's get back to it before I actually start crying. My friend says, "Yep, I think it's time to come home. I'm sorry, Sylv. I was hoping nothing like that would actually happen. Are you okay? Are you going to say anything, or wait till you leave? I think it's pretty clear now he wants to be close to you in that way, so the dynamics have changed. And honestly, I think most people are pretty aware of how close they are to touching boob. Wish you could just up and go easily. Thank God time is up. Jesus, I read that a few times, and it's making my blood boil. I really hope you're doing okay." And then I responded later, about an hour later. An hour later from my original message. "I think I'm okay now, or okay enough to wait until I'm back home to cry about it. I don't want to say anything while I'm here since I'm staying with him, have nowhere else to go, and I don't speak Finnish, though a surprising amount of people here speak English, not everyone does. Surely he must just not realize this stuff isn't okay, right? I don't know what to think about any of it. I just want to come home today." After I got out of the spooning and he yanked me into him, while I was waiting until I was confident I had the strength to commit to moving away, I'm pretty sure I heard him say, "Why does Monday have to be tomorrow?" Monday was the day I was flying out. And if that's what he said, then he's clearly enjoying himself, which I still don't know what to think of that. We've got 1, 2, 3 more screenshots to read. I don't know, these are not in sequence. I don't know what the second part is. There's stuff in between that I didn't screenshot. My friend says, "That's smart. It's better not to rock the boat until you're safe home. Wish you didn't have to deal with that though. I don't know him personally, so I can't say anything for sure. For some people, yeah, stuff like that is fine. But having known you for so many years, I didn't think he would make a move like that. I've had it happen to me before, so I know it's normal for some people. But in this day and age in particular, he should use his words, not force you into uncomfortable positions, especially once it became obvious you were trying to move away." I said, "If it was just the first instance I told you about a few days ago, I think I'd be okay with it. I was still frazzled and confused, but I know I'm also a very touchy person with people I know, always hugging them and leaning on them and such. Though, to be fair, in my case, that's almost exclusively with other women. I don't do it to you because I know you're not that kind of person, and I don't want male friends getting the wrong idea. So I would have just brushed it off as him being a touchy friend. But we broke up in 2018, and from then to now, 5 fucking years, there hasn't been a single sign or indication that there has ever been anything more than platonic feelings on either side. So I'm feeling really blindsided right now. Unless he somehow saw me coming up here as an invitation. I'm sorry, my mind is everywhere at the moment. My friend says, don't be sorry for that. Say whatever is on your mind. That's a lot to take in and have to deal with. I'd be pretty blindsided by that as well. I don't believe visiting counts as an invitation. And even if he got the wrong impression somehow, still shouldn't start scooping up and dragging you in without confirming anything. Sounds like he has no idea how you feel about it. I said, he asked me on day 2 if having his arm around my shoulder when we sit was okay. I said yes, because to me that's something friends do without it being inherently romantic or anything. But that was the only time he ever asked me if I was okay with something. So I think he took my "it's okay to have your arm around my shoulders when we sit" as an "it's okay to touch me however," which to this day I still kind of believe. And chat, don't be a creep. Someone saying yes to you doing one thing does not mean they're saying yes to you doing anything. Always ask. And considering where I am, I'm having a really hard time clarifying that. I don't want to bite the hand that's feeding me right now, but that hand shouldn't be touching me the way it is. I thought he'd at least ask before doing something like that, and I'd have a much easier time setting boundaries in his house if he asked me instead of just doing. My friend responds with, which makes me think he really doesn't understand he's doing anything wrong. Normally, this is the part where you say something and set said boundaries, but you're in a tight spot. All you can do is make sure he doesn't have any opportunities. There's so many things that could be or reasons, but the bottom line is always, if you're not comfortable, then that's enough. Has he ever been with a girl before? No, I don't think he has. Sorry, the replies are slow. I am still at work. One last screenshot for this section. I said, I'm not sure. He's had crushes on girls before. I know there was no official girlfriend after me. Though seeing how he treats me, it really recontextualizes that one story about the girl he liked and how they were all touchy-feely, but she ended up being gay. That was another story that I didn't add into the screenshots, but it is there. Also, you sent that to me as he was next to me looking at my phone, so I couldn't open it. He just revealed to me that he's unsure if I even remember what happened last night. I said I had vague memories, and he relayed a good portion of it, but not the touching me part. I remember it being pretty clearly. That's the other thing, right? That's the other thing that I had completely forgotten about until rereading this screenshot. The next morning, Jesse was like convinced that I didn't remember anything that had happened. He was convinced that I didn't remember the movie. I didn't remember him laying on top of me. I didn't remember the snuggles. He was convinced that I did not remember anything that had happened, right? Which, one, if you reckon they were in a position where they wouldn't remember what happened the next day, that's fucked. If you did what you did thinking that. And two, as I say here, it's like I'm saying, like, I said that I only remembered bits and pieces because I wanted to see what he would tell me. And he relayed a good portion of it, but not the touching me part. So he didn't say anything about laying on top of me. He didn't say anything about spooning me afterwards. He didn't say anything about grabbing me and having his arms around me. He didn't say anything about nearly touching my tit. He didn't mention any of that. All he mentioned was that I fell asleep during the movie and then I got up and started walking around. That is all he relayed to me. So not only did he do these things thinking that I wouldn't remember, but then when I basically lie to him and say that I don't remember much, he only tells me a select few things. Gee Williker, it's almost as if you knew that you were doing the wrong thing. Sorry, I shouldn't be saying that. Where were we? Oh, here. It certainly does paint a picture, and that doesn't sound good. I'm not sure what to say, honestly. I'm guessing he believes this sort of thing is okay, but he's not relaying the parts where he touched you, and it's very odd in that context. I responded with, yeah, I'm pretty uneasy about it, but there's not much I can do right now. I can't even look out the window without him coming up and grabbing me into a hug and shaking me around. He did relay the moment I collapsed face first into the couch. I was so tired after getting up that when I turned to lay down, my legs gave out. He carried me and turned me around so that my head was on the pillow. My friend says he definitely got the touchy-feely part down. This is making me uncomfortable and I'm not even experiencing it. And this is something separate that happened in his version of what happened. So trying to get the record straight with my friend. Human-shaped turd absolutely knew it was wrong. He was pressing till it looked like you might run, and now we're back to damage control. Yeah, actually, yeah, I would say this screams damage control, honestly. I responded with, no, that happened. I got out of the spooning and escaped the grip he had when I sat up. I went looking for my battery pack and then collapsed on the couch. More instances happened between the touchy-feely thing I mentioned a few days ago and last night. I might want to talk about it when I get home, if that's okay. I don't want to talk about it right now because he's awake and we're about to meet one of his friends. I just didn't want to mention them as they were happening. Last night kind of broke me a little. My friend says, I completely understand. Well, you have my ear as long as you need it, and I'm seeing you the same day you get back, so I'll listen if you want to talk about it. Just have to make it through till it's time to finally come home. This was my last day in Finland, if I remember correctly. Got enough points to tell you this man makes me angry in the most Russian way possible. I'm using my anger to dominate people in War Thunder, so I guess it's a win. Anyway, yeah, that's messed up. Yeah, it's very messed up. Just ick. He's so yuck. I agree. He is yuck. Thank you, chat. You're very nice about this. Alright, back into the doc. I'll read this paragraph and then I think it's break time again. Luckily for me, this event happened on my last night in Finland. I just had to make it through one more day. The day was definitely tense for me. I remember spending most of it in the corner of his couch, sitting with my knees up so he couldn't get behind me or lay on me comfortably. So I thought. I was on my iPad drawing some stuff for my project The Fairy's Tale. Jesse had asked me to swap places with him on the couch, which would have taken me out of the corner and left me open. Since this was the only other time he asked for my consent after that second day, I finally put my foot down and said no, that I was comfortable where I was. He tried to convince me to move and told me directly that he couldn't wrap his arm around me with how I was currently sitting. I said no again and that I was comfortable in my corner and didn't want to move. He then proceeded to, without asking for my consent, lay on top of me once again. I froze up because I genuinely thought my knees were up. With my knees up, he wouldn't be able to lean on or lay on me or put his body weight on me at all. But he could, and he did. So I think it's ad time again. I'm having a hard time telling. I think it's ad time again. So we're gonna take like another minute and a half. Go get your drinks. Go walk around. I'm gonna go kiss my cat. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. The boyfriend trademark is based. The boyfriend trademark is based. We love him. We love the boyfriend. Alright, let's get back into this. We're almost done, chat. We're almost finished. And since we have like an hour and 45 minutes, maybe we'll play like a chill, like Steam game to unwind afterwards. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll be too emotionally damaged. We'll see. So where we left off. Discord recounts of Jesse laying on top of me, spooning me, almost touching me inappropriately, grabbing me. And then here, the day after, he finally asked me for permission before he did something instead of just doing it. I said no. He tried to convince me to say yes. I said no again. I continued to say no, and then he gave up and he did what he wanted anyway. He put his full body weight on me, even though I told him multiple times I was fine where I was and I didn't want to be touched. This is this screenshot. He asked me twice to swap places with me on the couch because it's easier for him to wrap his arm around me. I said no both times, and now he's laying on me instead. So that just goes to show that even if he did ask me before he did things and I said no, it wouldn't have done anything. I still would have been touched, which is unfortunate. That's kind of... I don't know what to say, but like that's the point where I probably should have stopped giving him the benefit of the doubt. I know I said a little earlier that I'm still struggling to not give that to him, but that point, after I had said no to him twice and he did what he wanted to do anyway, that was probably when I should have stopped. Anyway, carrying on. Eventually, I was in the airport on my own, finally away from him, and I was finally able to start processing what had happened to me. I had an amazing best friend to come home to who did everything in his power to make me feel safe and come home. That man is now my partner. I'm sure you guys have met him, the boyfriend. And he has been a tremendous help in processing what had happened to me on this trip, dealing with the trauma responses I had developed because of it, and trying to get law enforcement involved, which proved to be too much due to communication across countries and different laws around things. And also making this doc. The boyfriend is based. We love him. I'm alone in the airport now. Flight doesn't take off for another 2.5 hours, and to be honest, I could have arrived 30 minutes before and had no issues since this airport is so small, but I didn't know that until I got here. Jesse ended up apologizing to me twice about getting too cuddly, saying it just happened, and then he said, "At least you tolerated it." Oh god, I remember how angry my partner got when I said that the first time. Jesse basically said, "I'm sorry I got too cuddly, it was just something that happened," and then he wanted to apologize to me by giving me a hug, which I thought was weird. And then in the hug, he said, "At least you tolerated it," and I can't wrap my head around the thought process there. I said, I didn't really have words for him about that. Ew, yeah, ick is right. Ick is fucking right. He was really upset to let me go. The time flew by so fast, and he made it very clear he wanted me to stay. Not directly with words, but with how he was standing by the carry-on baggage checks, and he kept trying to stall me from going. My partner says, "That's pretty fucked up. Thank God you're finally up and away. At least you tolerated it. What kind of thing is that to say? You didn't exactly have much of a choice the way he went about it. Even when you said no, he found ways to get something he wanted. Have a safe flight home, okay? I know it's a long one, but at least you're finally on your way home." I said, "That's pretty much exactly what I was thinking, and yeah, I just landed in Helsinki, which is a town in Finland. On my way to Singapore soon. I am exhausted." That sentence is activating fight or flight right now. The "at least you tolerated it." Yeah. That's a wild thing to say in this context. It's fucking baller. Fuck ew, fuck ew, fuck ew. Yeah, yeah, that's right, Skinner. To this day, I still don't know what Jesse's intentions were. I really don't. There's no way that I'll find out. All I know is the consequences of his actions. If he was just being overly friendly, if he had a thing for me and thought we could restart a relationship, or if he just wanted to take advantage of my situation, all I know is regardless of the intention, what he did was a violation of my personal space. It was not consensual, and it still traumatizes me to this very day. I won't go too deep into this, but I did add this just to show the ramifications, and there are screenshots. There was a really long time where my partner and I were not able to spoon. We were not able to spoon because I would literally like go into panic mode, like, oh shit, no, 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 not this again. And I'd freak the fuck out. And then there was one time, sorry, I'm playing with my fidget bracelets. There was one time, I think it's in the doc, in the screenshots. I don't want to read over it word for word because it's kind of embarrassing, but it is here for context. There was a time where we were testing the waters. We were doing like exposure therapy kind of thing, and we were spooning. He asked me. I said yes, it's fine. And then one thing led to another, and I had like completely dissociated. Like I was gone. I don't know what happened. I was just fucking. I was not there. And my partner got really freaked out. He was like really, really concerned. And eventually I came back and we were like, what the fuck happened? Like, I just proper dissociated. I was on a different planet. It was really bad. Thankfully, that only happened once. And I'm a lot more comfortable with spooning now, but it has its moments, you know? This kind of stuff doesn't really go away. It just gets fewer and further between. So I don't want to read all of these DMs because it's very not embarrassing, but like embarrassing for him, maybe. Not my partner, Jesse, because he has to read these knowing that he did this. But it is there. There's screenshots to back that up as well. Hey chat, welcome to my video. Today we're gonna see if a disgusting Finnish man scum can tolerate a cricket bat to the knees. Need one with a tungsten core for mass? Yes, strong, heavy. Oh my god, guys. I shouldn't be laughing. It's not funny. No, stop. It's not funny. We're not going to commit violence. It's not funny. Just a bit worried. This is a screenshot going over the dissociation. So we're going to move on to here. I'd given Jesse a chance to talk about what was on his mind after I left Finland twice, and both times I was ghosted. The first time, I asked if something was bothering him and was ghosted for a few months. The second time, he'd returned, explaining his hiatus, and asked me to talk. I asked him what he wanted to talk about, and I was ghosted indefinitely. Which is this screenshot here. I said, hey, was something wrong last night? I got the vibe something might be up, and I didn't ask at the time because I was very tired and didn't think I was able to stay awake and listen to you if there was something wrong. He said this was the 19th of May, so this was 2 days after I got back home. Stop that. This was 2 days after I got back home. I landed back home on my birthday. Did it make you smile? It did, but it shouldn't have. That's wrong. He responds on the 22nd of June, so a whole month later. Hey, it's been longer than I intended, but I'm here. Just needed to get my head clear about that week being the week that I was in Finland, and stuff we did, and about that night you sent me that message there, which I think I had like, I was trying to let him down easy, quote unquote, by talking to him about the fantastic night that I had with my friend, who is now my boyfriend, and I think he got really butthurt about it, which is why he ghosted me for so long. But then he goes, but I felt like I didn't know what to say or how to say it, so I focused my mind on work and took on summer courses at school to get my mind off of everything. Then I got a little too involved in those courses and a lot of time passed by. I tried to send you a message about a week ago, but again, I didn't know how to go about it really. But heck, I gotta say something because hanging out here and on streams is fun. So I didn't know this, but in the 1 month we were no contact, he was lurking in my streams, which is kind of weird. And for Gore Minor, which is a meme that Henry and I came up with about my comic, Forget Me Not, got me laughing, but I can't bring that up yet, or that's how it feels. But yeah, apologies for being that way. You up for a talk when I get back? So he's asking me to chat. I said, what do you want to talk about? Literally, I think maybe, what's this? This was 5 a.m. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So like 7 hours later, I asked him, like, sure, what do you want to talk about? And I never heard from him ever again. It's been a year and a half. He never told me what he wanted to talk about. But that's fine, because I guess now he gets to hear what I wanted to talk about the hard way. Yes, wink. We are not going to inflict bodily harm. Wink, wink. There will be absolutely no impromptu kneecap relocation. Guy, stop. Stop trying to make me laugh. It's not funny. Unbelievable. Alright. Continuing on. I know I'm most likely not going to be believed by a lot of people. We've seen many cases of people publicly falsely accusing people of these things and getting what they deserve. And since this all happened in person, the only evidence I have is proof that I was in Finland, in the same place as Jesse, and Discord messages telling my now partner about how it was happening as it happened. I can't make you believe me. Which is true. Like, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate so much that everyone in chat so far has been very understanding and has taken what I said. It means the world to me that I can express what happened to me and have so many people believe me, especially considering the amount of false allegations out there. I'm not gonna cry. You're going to cry. But at the same time, I understand that there are going to be people out there who look at all of my screenshots and my story and still choose not to believe me in this. Like, I'm not gonna lie, part of me expected that. I'm doing this now because Jesse is still a relatively respected person in the animation sphere and in the Sonic sphere, especially now with all of the animations he's done for Lithero. I think it's Lithero? And all of the Sonic artwork he posts on Twitter. And I don't think this kind of behavior should be respected in any capacity, especially in spaces where young and impressionable girls can discover his work and fangirl over him, like I did in 2015. So this part's entirely true. The main reason why I decided I wanted to come out with this is because Jesse never really addressed it. He swept it under the rug and continued as if, like, none of it had ever happened. And now he's gaining more and more prevalency in a fandom that mostly consists of young girls. Again, with, I think it's Lithero and, like, their playthroughs. He does a lot of animated segments from them, and he gets a lot of attention from, like, those videos. And I don't want other younger people to start fangirling over him the way I did, because that's how it starts. That's really one of the big reasons why I decided to go through with this. With things like this, if you've got proof, you've got receipts, you deserve to have your story be heard. Thank you, Skinner. I appreciate that. It will stay in place, just in many pieces. Oh my god. Alright, this next bit I have to give credit to a very good friend of mine. I'm not going to name him because he said he didn't want to be named, but he knows who he is, and I love him very much. I struggled putting my final thoughts into words for this document. I was told a few times that my original final statement was going too soft on Jesse, and I believe they were right. One of my dear friends summed up his take on my experiences in a far better way than I ever could. So with his permission, I will be using his words to me as this final statement. So this final statement is what one of my very dear friends wrote to me after he had read the draft of this document. I really didn't know how to finish this up, so I asked him, and he gave me permission to use his words. So this is my final statement, worded by a very dear friend of mine. This guy has a fetish for operating from a point of power and control. This is reflected not only in bondage art, but in his actions from day one. He knows you admire his work. He knows you're a fan. He knows he is older. He can manipulate your feelings and accept him fetishizing a kid, mine back then, OC, and even them personally. He is so engulfed in his kink, he has no moral qualms with expressing them to a kid, or towards a kid no less. Massive red flag, even if his interest isn't exclusively in young fans pining away for his approval and affection. Closer to present day, as adults, he has the home field advantage, literally. He is in the comfort of his home, you are a foreigner, he knows you're in pain, only asks once for something small with an arm wrapped around you, and then proceeds to take a mile with it. Then decides repeatedly it's better to ask for forgiveness than for permission. All of this to say, I think this is a lifelong pattern of his, that he let go unchecked and has appealed to his physical desires, and was therefore never discussed with people needed for him to get any real help. We are not his psychiatrists, we are the victim in this case. I don't think I could have worded that any better than my friend did. I tried to, and I just couldn't. And with that, that's everything that I have. That is my quote-unquote exposed document on the Jedge 12, aka Jesse Vuotila, prolific Sonic animator, trying to get into the Spyro community, but not a whole bunch from what I saw. And that is my story. That is everything